Hi class, it's me, your math teacher Jel. In today's lesson, let's have another example on how to sketch the graph of quadratic functions. Let's get started. Sketch the graph and find all the properties of the following. So actually yung number 1 example natin, na-solve na natin sa ating previous video. So now, let's work on sa number 2. The given function is f of x is equal to negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 1 close squared plus 4. So, class, kung mapapansin natin, this is actually written in vertex form. Okay? So, meron tayong vertex form. And yung example number 1 sa number 2 ay magkaiba yan, class. Standard and vertex form. So, we all know that kapag vertex form, that is y is equal to a times the quantity of x minus h close squared plus 4. Okay? Kung i-compare natin yan, naka-express in vertex form. So, let's find all the properties. The first one is the opening of the parabola. To identify the opening of the parabola, we need to look first sa ating value ng a. Titingnan lang natin ito. Sabi natin doon sa previous video, if a is greater than 0, then the parabola opens upward. And if a is less than 0, the parabola opens downward. Since our a is less than 0 and that is negative 2, so negative number yon. So therefore, the parabola opens downward. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple. The parabola opens downward. Gets? So now, hanapin natin yung ating vertex. So, yung vertex natin, di ba we have point HK? So, this is actually a point or coordinates din yan. So, yung h natin dito, okay, class, kung mapapansin natin, this is positive 1. Okay? So, get the additive inverse lang or yung kabaliktaran palagi. Kung plus 1 yan, so gawin natin negative 1, no? Ayan. So, kung minus 1 ang given natin dyan, gagawin natin positive dito. Gets? Okay. And then, yung k value natin is, eto yun, class. Tignan nyo lang yan. So, that is plus 4 or positive 4. So, copy the sign. Kung minus 4 sa given, so negative 4 doon. Nakuha? So, therefore, ang ating vertex is negative 1, positive 4. So, we all know that yung vertex natin, diba? Kumbaga, nasa gitna siya, no? Kasi, later, magpapass through dun yung ating axis of symmetry. So, ilagay natin yung vertex sa gitna. So, we have negative 1, positive 4. Okay? So, sagutan muna natin yung ating axis of symmetry. So, madali lang ito. Yung x equals h. So, this is equal to x equals, yung h natin dito which is negative 1. So, ganun lang kasimple. Nakuha? Okay. So, now, let's work on sa ating table of values. What are the numbers greater than negative 1? Diba we have 0, we have positive 1. And what are the numbers less than negative 1? So, we have negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and so on. Okay? So, now, hanapin natin yung mga values ng y natin. So, paano ba natin isa-solve yun? Magpakita tayo ng isang solution. So, let me use this part. So, y is equal to yung ating given problem or yung original, negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 1 close squared plus 4. Okay? So, guys, ang gagawin lang natin dito, ipa-plug in lang lahat natin yung values na negative 3 up to positive 1 in place of the variable x. Okay, so negative 2 times negative 3 added by 1 close squared plus 4. So, class, let's simplify first yung ating, di ba we have PEMDAS rule? So, i-apply natin yon. Parenthesis exponent, no? So, inside the parenthesis, so we have negative 3 plus 1. I-perform natin yan, which is equal to negative 2. Do not forget the exponent na 2. Plus 4. Nasundan? And then, we have negative 2 copy. So, negative 2 squared, that is equal to positive 4. Kasi negative 2 times negative 2, that gives us positive 4. So, plus 4. And then, negative 2 times 4, which gives us negative 8, added by 4. So, your first value ng y is positive, rather negative 4, right? Okay. So, this is negative 4. So, ganun lang kasimple. Okay? So, when x naman is equal to negative 2, so, kung negative 2 naman to, class, plus 1, so, meron tayong negative 1 squared, that is positive 1, times negative 2 plus 4, so, meron tayong positive 2. Okay? So, what do we know about the axis of symmetry? Diba sabi natin doon, it divides the parabola into two mirror images. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano yung mga values dito, after natin locate yung ating vertex, ganun din sa kabila. So, yung value nun is 2 and negative 4. Okay? Nakuha? Okay, next. You can verify na lang sa pag-solve ng ating y values. All you have to do is to plug in or substitute in the original function. So now, to solve for the x-intercepts, dito naman, let y be equal to 0. Okay? So, let y be equal to 0. So, yung ating original function, we can write f of x into y. Okay? So, y is equal to negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 1 close squared plus 4. Okay. So, sabi ko kanina, ang gagawin lang natin, let y be equal to 0. Yung variable y, magiging 0 na siya. Equals negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 1 close squared added by 4. So, class, dito, etong term na to, ililipat ko rito sa kabila. Okay, sa left side. So, it will become positive 2. And then, the quantity of x plus 1 close squared is equal to positive 4. Okay? So, actually class, pwede naman hindi yan ilipat. Si positive 4 ang ilipat natin, it will become negative 4. Same pa rin yung magiging sagot natin. Okay? And then, to get rid of 2 before the parentheses, i-divide natin yan all terms by positive 2. So, we're gonna cancel. Ayan. Nasundan ba? Okay, so we have the quantity of x plus 1 close squared is equal to 2, right? Okay. Kasi nga, i-divide na natin. So now, para mawala yung exponent natin, so what do we do? Very good. All we have to do is by getting the square root of both sides, no? Square root. Kasi ratio to yung exponent natin. So, this is actually cancel. Ayan. So, we left by x plus 1 na lang. Tama? So, x plus 1 equals, so dito, magkakaroon tayo ng positive, negative square root of 2. Okay? So, isa-isahin muna natin. So, let's work on the positive 1, sa positive square muna, no? Okay. So, x plus 1 equals square root of 2. Okay. Kasi we have positive, negative. So, inuna ko si positive. Nakuha? Okay. So, now, let's combine. So, x now is equal to square root of 2. And then, si positive 1, ilipat natin. It will become minus 1 or negative 1. Nakuha? And then, using our scientific calculator, get the exact value of square root of 2. And that is 1.41 something. So in this case, we need to get only the first two or two decimal places tayo. So, and that is 1.41 minus 1. So we have 1.41 minus 1. So 0.41. Nakuha. So therefore, ang ating first x-intercept will be 0.41, 0. Okay? Yung y natin is 0 kasi let y be equal to 0. Gets? So now, let's proceed sa another solution. So we have x plus 1 equals negative square root of 2, no? Okay, kanina positive, ngayon negative naman. So, same procedure lang by, combining like terms. So, what is square root of 2? Diba, 1.41 yan. Pero, ilipat muna natin si positive 1. It will become negative 1 or minus 1. So, we all know that that is 1.41, tama? E may negative ka sa labas, multiply lang. So, that is negative 1.41 minus 1. So, x now is equal to, okay, very good, negative 2.41 kapag pinag-combine natin yon. Negative 1.41 minus 1, that gives us negative 2.41. And then, yung ating x, the second x-intercept will be negative 2.41, 0. Nakuha? Okay. So now, later ipa-plot natin yan sa ating Cartesian plane. So, to solve for the y-intercept, kabaliktaran ni x-intercept to. Okay? So, letting x be equal to 0 naman. Kanina, letting y be equal to 0, no? Okay. So, yung ating original function, copy lang natin, y is equal to negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 1 close squared plus 4. Okay? So, negative 2 times the quantity of 0 plus 1 close squared. Tama? Okay. And then, plus 4. So, magiging negative 2. 0 plus 1 is 1 squared plus 4. Simplify. So, negative 2. Positive 1 squared, that is equal to positive 1 pa rin naman. Plus 4. So, negative 2 times 1. So, that is negative 2 plus 4. So, y now is equal to negative 2 plus 4, that is equal to positive 2. If we're going to get the coordinates of the y-intercept, and that is 0, 2. Okay? Tama bang isulat natin na 2, 0? Of course not. So, mali yun, ha? Kasi that falls under x-intercept naman pagka ganon. So, likewise, ganon din kay x-intercept. Nakuha? Okay, so, ang ating domain dito, since ito ay quadratic function, wala naman tayong restriction dito sa ating domain. So, therefore, ang ating sagot dyan ay x is an element of all real numbers. Diba? Yung ating domain, yung possible of all x values, no? Ayan. Or, ito kasi class, yung unang sagot natin, that is written in set builder notation. So, pwede rin ganito yung sagot, using interval notation naman. So, since wala namang restriction, so, it could be positive or negative. So, therefore, negative infinity up to positive infinity. Okay? So, parehas na open yon. And now, yung range natin, madedetermine natin yung range through graphing, no? Okay, so later isagutan natin yan. So first, i-plot muna natin yung ating mga coordinates na yan, yung mga na-solve natin. So, yung ating vertex dito, which is negative 1, positive 4, that is along the quadrant quadrant 2, right? So, your x is negative 1, ito yung negative 1. Yung y mo is positive 4, tama? So, kunin natin yung intersection. So, nandito yung intersection nun. Okay? Nakuha? So, this is your vertex. And that is negative 1, positive 4. That will be the coordinates. No? Okay. So now, i-plot natin si negative 3, negative 4. So, ito yun. So, your x is negative 3, your y is negative 4. I hope na wala na kayong struggle kapag nagpa-plot ng mga points. And, we have negative 2, positive 2. Your x is negative 2, your y is positive 2. So, class, nandito siya. And then, we have 0, 2. This is actually the y-intercept, no? Ayun, no? Okay? 0, 2. So, ito ay nasa along the line, no? Okay. Ayan. And then, we have 1, negative 4. Your x is 1. Your y is negative 4. So, nandito siya, class. Okay, so, dito class, since meron tayong intersection doon sa ating x-axis, so, meron kasi tayong x-intercepts na na-solve. So, therefore, ipa-plot natin yung ating x-intercepts. So, huwag kayong kakabahan kung magpa-plot kayo ng decimal or fraction. Okay, so, dito, yung 0.41, saan ba siya mas malapit? Okay? Mas malapit siya between 0 to 0.5. So, class sa gitna nito, so this is 0.5, no? Okay. Yan, sa gitna niyan is 0.5. So, ngayon, 0.41, medyo closer na siya doon, right? So, somehow, nandito siya. Gets? Okay. So, na-plot na natin yan. And then, yung negative 2.4110. So, that's between negative 2 to negative 2.5. Sa gitna nito, that is negative 2.5. Tama? That is negative 2.41 lang naman. So, therefore, medyo lang, no? Medyo malapit. Ayan. So, i-assume natin. Okay, wag tayo pala mag-assume. Let's use the word approximation. Ayan. Approximately, nandun yung point na yon. So, class dito, hindi tayo basta-basta nagtitrace lang ng parabola. Yung basta makapag-curve lang, no? Meron kasi mga certain points na dadaanan yung ating parabola, yung graph natin. Okay? Kaya, sinasolve na natin isa-isa. Okay? Kaya, pinapakita ko yung step-by-step process. So, dito, pwedeng tayo mag-trace ng ating parabola. Okay, so, dito tayo mag-start. Ayan. So, extend natin yan. Okay. And then, dito naman sa kabila. Okay, pagpasensya na, hindi ganong ka-smooth yung curve natin. Okay. Afterwards, lalagay natin si axis of symmetry, no? Ayan. So, dito yon. Dapat sabi natin sa axis of symmetry, it touches the vertex or it passes through the vertex, no? And it divides the parabola into two mirror images. So, class, kung makikita natin, dinivide niya yung parabola into two mirror images. Tama? So, ang tawag natin dito is axis of symmetry. Okay? And then, and that is, yung axis of symmetry natin, x equals negative 1. Tama? Okay, x equals negative 1. So now, let's analyze the graph para makita natin or malaman natin kung ano yung range, no? So guys, yung kung makikita natin yung ating graph, so nandito siya. So mayroon tayong restriction hanggang 4 lang. So the highest value of y is at the vertex y equals 4. So guys, ito yung 4, no? Ayan. So ibig sabihin, ayan, hindi tayo pwedeng lumagpas doon. So as the parabola opens downward, so the value of y or range can be any value less than or equal to 4. Okay, so therefore, ang ating range dito is y is less than or equal to positive 4 using set builder notation. In interval notation naman, so since may restriction nga tayo dito, so be mindful sa paggamit ng symbol. So this topic nga pala, yung set ay during your grade 7, no? So negative infinity and then 4. So that is close. Kasi hindi tayo pwede lumagpas dyan. Okay, so based on the graph. So pwedeng ito ang sagot natin or ito. Nagkakaintindihan? So ayun naman, very evident naman sa ating graph. Okay, so this is actually how we do it or how to sketch the graph of quadratic function. So this is the end of our video. I hope naman kayo natutunan. Thank you for watching. Follow for more.